Alabama's WVUA News at 10.
We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm Lynn Brooks in for John Huddleston. A local man is out of jail on bond tonight after being charged with vehicular homicide in the death of an 8-year-old girl. Authorities say Danny Ray Smith was driving away from the Tuscaloosa airport after this weekend's air show when homicide officials say Smith's vehicle hit 4 people, killing an 8-year-old girl. Smith is charged with leaving the scene of an accident with injuries and assault. In addition to the fatality, 3 others were hurt. Travis Leader has the latest now in tonight's top story.
Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide is still gathering the facts on the car crash killing 8-year-old Haley Burks. Here's what investigators know so far.
The vehicle that struck the victims did not stop for about 100 to 150 yards. Once it did stop, suspect got out of the vehicle and ultimately got back in.
And according to Baker, the driver went back to the scene after he momentarily fled.
When he got out of the vehicle, he walked back to where the victims were lying. One of the people attending to the victims recognized him and said, "Are you the person who was driving this truck, or the truck?" He said yes, and then he walked back to his vehicle.
At Monday's Northport City Council meeting, Mayor Bobby Herndon opened with a prayer for the accident victims. He says many in the city are seeking to help the Chilton County family.
I had numerous phone calls today of people wanting to set up trust funds. I had attorneys volunteering to handle getting the trust account set up.
And Metro Homicide wants all eyewitnesses to help out as well.
Anyone who saw this or was in the area at the time of the impact or the time of the crime to please call us. We do need to talk to everyone who was present or who saw what happened.
Reporting in Northport, Travis Leader, WVUA News.
And tonight we have a statement from Smith's defense attorney. It says, quote, Danny and the entire Smith family are heartbroken over this tragedy and are truly sorry this has happened. They also hope anyone who hears about this accident will resist jumping to conclusions from what they hear, but instead will simply pray for those who were injured and their family. Well, students who attend Jemison Elementary with crash victim Haley Burks returned from spring break only to learn of this tragic news. WVUA's Jennifer Edwards was in Chilton County today where classmates are in mourning.
The halls of Jemison Elementary School were quiet as staff and students mourned the death of 2nd grader Haley Burks.
The feeling of the school right now is just sadness, almost heavy of heart to have lost such a young student, young child. Anytime you lose a student or a child, it's sadness. But we're trying to find ways to uplift the students, uplift each other, and to try to give our support to the family.
School counselor Brenda Godbold says the students spent the day remembering the life of their classmate and friend.
They realize she's not coming back. She hasn't just moved to a different school. She's gone. And they're thinking about her, the memories they have of her, and trying to think of the good times they had too and the things that they liked about her.
Principal Louise Pitts says Haley's age makes this tragedy seem unreal.
That here was a young child, a 2nd grader here at Jemison Elementary School that had a bright future. She was a very sweet child and a very good student. And to hear that her life had been shortened in such a tragic accident was just very sad.
Godbold says that an accident like this in a small town has a huge impact on the whole community.
Well, in a small town, you've got, the children who go to school with her, but they also go to church with her. Sometimes they're on ball teams together. Sometimes my sister.
And officials say Burke's 3-year-old sister and mother are both in stable condition with non-life-threatening injuries. Of course, we will keep you posted. The economic downturn is causing a spike in food prices. That means more people right here in West Alabama need help. According to a 2011 U.S. Census study, an estimated 18.4% of Tuscaloosa County residents cannot afford to feed their families. Even some middle-class families are finding themselves seeking aid from organizations like the West Alabama Food Bank.
We have seen the total impact yet of the increase in price of gasoline. I think we will be seeing that in the next few days and weeks.
The gas is a concern, but groceries come first. I've got my 2 granddaughters and my younger son, and sometimes I...
Is World Autism Awareness Day, and experts say autism affects about 1 million U.S. children and teens. Today marks the 5th annual Autism Awareness Day. Every year, autism organizations around the world celebrate with fundraising and awareness-raising events. A new government report says the numbers are as high as 1 in 88 children. University of Alabama professor Dr. Angie Barber says families need support from their community.
Really, we've seen a collaboration across agencies trying to support families and research, and thankfully we have a month now that we can really get this kind of attention to autism and support the families and the children who need it.
Different businesses and landmarks all around Tuscaloosa were lit up in blue tonight in honor of Autism Day. The price of a 911 call may soon cost you more because state lawmakers are considering raising the fee. Right now in Tuscaloosa County, the monthly fee is 50 cents, but it could go up as high as $2.88. According to Tuscaloosa County Probate Judge Hardy McCollum, some counties pay much more than Tuscaloosa County, and McCollum says phone companies want lawmakers to level out the fee all across the state.
We've done a very good job with what we've been given to do with. Our 50 cent a month surcharge is adequate. Again, we are able to provide the service. We're able to keep our equipment updated, and consequently, though this is being addressed at the state level.
McCollum says the measure has to pass the state legislature for a change to be made. A shooting at a California university has left at least 7 people dead. Mary Ellen Hopkins shows you how the focus is now on what led to the rampage.
Emergency crews tend to the victims as a normal day gives way to an unspeakable horror at Oikos University in Oakland, California. Police say a gunman burst into the single-story building and opened fire.
It happens really quick.
A woman in the area says she encountered a frantic woman who had seen the shooter.
She says oh, please call 911, help me, like that, and call again, so, please hurry up, and then we call 911, and then they come really quick.
Authorities say several shots were fired in the late morning attack. Police say a suspect was arrested at a nearby grocery store. A local reporter was on the scene and reports what he heard.
They did not know who the suspect was, other than he was a larger build, possibly wearing khaki and a hat.
A Honda was also towed away from the scene as part of the investigation. Now the task gets underway of trying to figure out why.
I know that officers are talking to witnesses, trying to gather as much information. Again, this is a very tense situation.
Some survivors say faith helped them get through a horrible experience.
I'm a Christian because I believe that God protects me, so I was okay.
According to its website, Oikos University offers degrees in theology, nursing, and Asian medicine. I'm Mary Ellen Hopkins reporting.